I've got a historic announcement for you today. I'm proud to be here with the greatest First Lady in the country, Marty Kemp, and our first daughter. We're looking forward to lighting the Christmas tree here later at the Capitol. I also just want to thank our partners in the General Assembly and constitutional officers, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, Speaker Burns, President Pro Tem Kennedy, Speaker Pro Tem Jan Jones, our Appropriations Chairman Blake Tillery and Matt Hatchett of the Senate and House Appropriations Committee, Chairman Chuck Huffstedler of the Senate Finance Committee, and Chairman Shaw Blackman of the House Ways and Means Committee, along with many members of the General Assembly that are gathered behind us. Thank you all so much for your partnership and for being with us today. As you know, working together, we passed the state's largest income tax cut in our history, and I was proud to sign that legislation, HB 1437, in 2022. That original bill provided for a step down in our income tax rate from 5.75% to eventually just 4.99%, so long as we reach certain economic success markers. The first of those 10 basis point step downs would have occurred in January of 2025, further reducing the 5.49% rate that takes effect in just a few weeks. But today I'm announcing that we will introduce legislation in the upcoming regular session to accelerate that cut by another 10 basis points, bringing us to a flat tax rate of 5.39% immediately. That means in just one tax year, we'll realize a cut of 36 basis points, keeping hundreds of millions of dollars in the pockets of hardworking Georgia taxpayers. This is what happens when you budget conservatively. This is what happens when you think long-term, rather than make knee-jerk fiscal decisions without consideration the impact it will have on the state. This is what happens when you have a team like behind me today that is in charge. And because of this team's careful approach to budgeting over the years, even when the liberal media and pundits argued against it, we were able to fully fund for our needs while putting money back where it belongs, in the pocket of our citizens. Because of all of us here today, we believe that it is your money, not the government's. One of our most solemn responsibilities as leaders of this state is to be good stewards of what the people have entrusted us with. We've carried that mission with us every day and worked to ensure your government works for you, not against you. That's a lesson many in Washington, D.C. should learn from us. Right now, families are burdened with high prices and high borrowing costs, along with other disastrous effects of Bidenomics that hurt their wallets, their kitchen tables, and also their peace of mind. Incredibly, in our country right now, over 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and over 8.4 million people in this country are working 2 jobs to make ends meet. All while the Biden administration hires an army of more tax agents to go after even more of your money. Well, here in Georgia, we're doing the opposite. We're keeping government streamlined, and we're giving taxpayers more of their hard-earned money back. And I will remind you, the savings that they'll see from this tax cut acceleration are on top of the 2 income tax refunds totaling $2 billion that we've already done. The more than $1.7 billion we've saved Georgians at the pump last year, and roughly $500 million saved over the past 3 months with the gas tax suspension. Also, the $1 billion given in property tax relief, and much more we've done to put surplus money where it can do the most good, in the hands of Georgia families. While big government and big spenders in Washington, D.C. and in states like California and New York continue to further their tax and spend policies, making life unaffordable for everyday Americans, we're charting a different path in the Peach State. When Georgians receive their bill for the tax year 2024, they will once again see the difference in our approach and the one taken by D.C. Democrats. So again, I want to thank the partners here with me today who are helping us get this done, and I look forward to working with them in the coming year to give Georgians even more relief from D.C.'s failures. With that, I'm going to turn it over to a great partner in this effort, our Lieutenant Governor, Burt Jones.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will be brief. Good morning, and thank you, Governor Kemp, and also leadership in both the House and the Senate. I just want to echo exactly what the governor just said. This is an opportunity that, through his leadership, that we're taking advantage of right now. We've made it a priority of ours to continue to lower the cost of everyday Georgians, and this is a great step towards doing that, but we couldn't do it without great partnerships with Speaker Burns and the executive branch, Governor Kemp. He has illustrated at every step of the way that he is all about looking out for Georgians, both as individuals and small businesses, and we greatly appreciate that. And we want to continue to do that. I've always made it a campaign promise that I wanted to eventually eliminate the state income tax, but we need to do it in a fiscal and responsible manner. And this is exactly the type of steps that we want to continue to do as a state. And once again, I just thank the leadership of Governor Kemp, and I will turn the podium over now to Speaker Burns.
Good morning.
Morning.
What a great day to be a Georgian and be in a place like this. It's just beautiful. Thank you, Governor Kemp. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Jones, for y'all's leadership. And thanks to everyone here this morning for joining us. It is a great day to be a Georgian on this beautiful Monday morning. Today's announcement showcases our continued commitment to serving hard-working Georgians. Despite record levels of inflation, we continue to grow opportunities here in Georgia. Thanks to the leadership of Governor Kemp, tireless efforts by members of the General Assembly who are here with us, and thoughtful budgeting decisions by a lot of people, but one I want to mention, the Appropriations Chairman of the House, Matt Hatchett. Georgia enjoys one of the lowest per capita tax burdens in our country. This latest measure will further accelerate prosperity to Georgians all around this state, from North Georgia to South Georgia. We believe in the principle that tax dollars belong to those who earned them in the first place, the citizens of this great state. Today, we once again demonstrate our conservative stewardship of the public's resources. I look forward to working with my colleagues in the House, the Governor, the Lieutenant Governor, and the members of the Senate in 2024 as we continue to prioritize measures that help keep more money in the pockets and keep Georgia the #1 state in this nation in which to do business. Thank y'all for being here.
Well, thank you, Speaker Burns and Lieutenant Governor Jones, for your commitment and leadership. I want to thank all the members that are here with us for their commitment to get this done, and we're looking forward to doing that when the session gets started. With that, we'll open it up for questions. Well, I think it's just furthering all our commitments to our hardworking people in the state. I think if you look at with the leadership of the people that are behind me, we've continued to have a great business environment, a low tax environment, which is what we're tackling even further today, like Speaker Burns said. But we've also, over the last several years, been funding a lot of other issues in state government. You know, the comprehensive work that we've done for several years now on mental health, that will continue. Teacher pay raises, even furthering the commitment that I campaigned on, law enforcement pay pay raises, making sure we're taking advantage of the great economic development opportunities in the state. You look at our logistics and infrastructure, we're continuing to fund that. So I think this is just part of our comprehensive plan to really have a great state for people to live, work, and raise a family in. Well, I don't know that we've talked about income tax rebates. I will remind people that we've already done $2 billion of income tax rebates. So when you think about one-time money that the state has had, the individuals behind me have supported us giving $2 billion back to taxpayers over the last couple of years. We have saved them $1.7 billion last year in gas tax suspension while funding, backfilling that money in their transportation programs. We've done almost $500 million of gas tax savings in the last 3 months. And then just recently, Georgia homeowners have experienced $1 billion worth of property tax relief. So we have been putting money back into our citizens' pockets to help them deal with 40-year high inflation and so-called Bidenomics. And we're furthering doing that this year, but this is a long-term commitment. This is not a one-time spend. This is a commitment that we're going to have to fund this year, so we're funding the previous tax cut of 25 basis points, plus we're accelerating another 10 basis points that we're paying for now versus waiting another year to do that. So again, making our environment more competitive, keeping more money in the pockets of our citizens. I mean, it's costing Americans $11,000 more a year to keep up their standard of living. This is one of the ways that the Georgia General Assembly and the leadership that's behind me is helping Georgians cope with that. Well, there'll be a lot of discussions I'm sure the members here want to have with me and their colleagues. In the House and Senate about different proposals, but I will tell you, we did property tax relief this year over $1 billion. Now, not every county in the state reduced taxes like we did. So for individuals out there that saw their property tax bill go up, they need to be calling their local governments because the leadership behind me, we supported tax relief. We funded
and legislative process in the Senate. We looked at a lot of the tax credits and incentives that we've been doling out over the last decade, and looking at adjusting some of those, eliminating some, and then some. You know, we have proved that there are pretty good mechanisms in place for those industries. So this is a very responsible, very fiscally responsible way of us doing that. I think you got to have a goal of our goal is to eliminate the state income tax, but I don't think our Georgians are going to be complaining as we're lowering it along the way every year. And it's like I said, it would. I don't put a timeline on it because you never know what might happen in the coming years. So, but this is a great step, and it's a great way of doing it. The way that Governor Kemp has led on reducing the burden on taxes for individual Georgians. So, thank you.
Well, I'll just let the speaker get up here in just a second, man. I would just tell you, look, I'm people behind me know I'm willing to look at any plan. We just need to have a plan that we got enough time to methodically go through and figure out how we're going to fund our priorities and continue to lower the tax rate. I'm more than willing to do that, but we also have to be very careful. I mean, one of the things that we have in our state that we're so proud of is our AAA bond rating, because we've budgeted conservatively over the years. We've had great leadership long before I became governor, and I'm committed to making sure that we are preserving those things so we have low borrowing rates. I mean, you look at our bond package the last 2 years, historically low rates that the state's paying right now to build their capital projects in places like higher education, our technical college system, K through 12 schools, and other state resources. But I'm all for cutting taxes. We just, and if there's a plan to get it down to zero, then we just need to see the plan, and we can get to work on that. But today, we're committed and actually are accelerating the existing plan that we passed back in 2022. And to me, that's a good thing for our taxpayers.
This group behind me likes, as does the governor, his team, likes to deal with the facts. The facts are that Georgia is in a very sound physical position. We know the facts also point out that Georgians enjoy one of the lowest tax rates in the country when it comes to the total taxation from the local level to the state level. We're very, very competitive in that vein, and we're very proud of that. I think over the past years, the fiscal conservative stewardship of the public's money has made sure that Georgia will continue to be in that posture. We are willing to look at how we continue to lower that tax rate as we move forward, but we're very proud of the position we're in, and we look forward to continuing to work together as a team for the benefit of all Georgians.
All right, thank y'all. It's a great day to cut taxes in Georgia. Thanks for being with us.